So we've talked about it a lot over the past few episodes, but this team is indeed inching that much closer to the turning point of this series, where we go from just getting stomped by everybody to potentially being able to push for a playoff spot. The draft in the last episode went very well. It was almost amazing. Had Nishii been a B, he was 1 point away from it, but despite only drafting 3 players, all 3 of them I think are home runs, and Bobby Gaucho is going to be our ace down the road. But in the last episode in particular, the question arose as far as what we look to do with secondary positions and whether or not I'm allowed to move people over. Now, I have changed some secondary positions. Charley Mares has been assigned the infield secondary position so he can play everywhere. And here's what I found. If you move Charley Mares to second base, he becomes an 82 overall. So it kind of opens up an interesting possibility, but also what could be considered a bit cheap to move people to where they would be, the highest overall based on their attributes. Now, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm tempted. It would be a pretty big help. I mean, if you think of moving some people over, but it doesn't always work out. Cameron Ling, I checked, if I move him from catcher to third, he goes down to a 77. So that still might not help the situation that we currently have now, where there's just a bit too much depth at catcher. Although if you check the lineups, I have been able to work everybody into the lineup. Ernie Christiansen is the guy who gets taken out when we don't have a DH. But the good thing is, of course, we are an AL club. So I'm still not entirely sure whether or not I want to move people around, and if we want to base it off of their secondary positions, or if we just say, hey, we're at so much of a disadvantage. If you can move Charley Mares to be a permanent second baseman and his overall goes up, why not do that? I'm very much torn, and you guys had some good suggestions as far as you can change catchers to either corner spot in the infield, you can move people around the infield, change outfielders over if you want to. But like I said, seeing the overall change, and here I'll show you to see if it does the same thing. Seeing the overall change like this for Charley Mares, so see, he goes up to an 82. It doesn't change the attributes as far as I can tell, but the overall goes up. So I don't really think it matters that much then. It'd be a little bit weird to have a 6'4" second baseman. But yeah, after seeing that, I'm a little bit torn on what to do. And, the overall number only means so much, seeing as the attributes stay the same. But for now, at least, our lineup's okay. It's going to continue to change over the next few seasons as it is. But yeah, in the meantime, we can actually just go ahead and sim to All-Star Week. By the way, our team depth is, it's pretty bad. I mean, first and third base, right field as well. At least it's not dead last. And obviously we have that depth at catcher. Things are starting to come together, as Nick Prado's been dealt to the Orioles for a Vielma and a decent pitching prospect, potentially. I'm intrigued to see how the Rule 5 goes for us today. I am intrigued to see how the next year's entry draft goes in particular, and hopefully we are able to get that little bit of extra depth. That would be tremendous. Obviously, only getting 3 players, in a draft is pretty damaging. Now, there is the Future Stars game today, and this was a point too. Someone asked, hey, you should start paying attention a little bit more now that the team's turning the corner. And I agree. We should start paying a little bit more attention to the All-Star game and to see if anybody makes it. What I want to check here is who may be in this Future Stars game for us. And it's going to be on the AL batting futures, not the NL. I was not paying attention, and I regret that. So do we have a pitcher? We don't. Position player-wise, though, it's going to be on the bench. Who the hell is it? I'm confused. Unless, who am I missing? Who did I miss? It's not Sammy Gonzalez. We had somebody make this roster, apparently, but I am just, zoning out, apparently. I can't tell who it is. We don't have a participant in the Home Run Derby, which is fine. We'll see who our mandatory 1 All-Star is, though, which I probably should have been checking in the early stages, and I'm sorry for that, because we will have a couple of players here that have probably had a couple elections, although now it's getting to the point where we might have 2 All-Stars or more, because obviously we get 1 no matter what. It's probably been Eric Encarncion over the past few years. He makes it again. He's up to an 89 at 23 years old. Just a quick look at his stats, too. Over the past 3 years, he has been outrageous. At least over the past 2. Year 1, he was awful. But the past 2 years, I mean, a near 4 ERA is kind of rough, but the whip was in a good spot at least. I don't hate where he is. Positive WAR, not by much. Yeah, he's been solid. He's been fine, at least for what this roster is at this point. And he is indeed our only All-Star this season. So not quite at that point yet where we're going to have multiple All-Stars, although, I mean, technically we could. This roster isn't the worst. So we'll see what happens here over the next few seasons. Again, as this roster continues to develop, we are on pace to probably win the most amount of games that we've ever won in a season. I did slightly change up the bullpen as well. We sent down certain players that were just way too low overall to really be hanging around. Victor Caratini to Cleveland. We'll see what happens here as we hit 30 wins on the season. Gone are the days of us winning 8 games in an entire season. So the progress is there. We should be able to hit 40 as well. I mean, we still have over a month to play. Couple of wins in this final week. Not too bad. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit 40 wins, no problem. It would be a disaster. God, those minor league teams. Whew, that's rough. There we go. Over 40 wins this year. If we could hit, my God, we might hit 50. Just short. 49 win season. There you go. We should be over 50 next year. So let's, we'll take a look at the stats around the league, or at least the awards around the league. We'll take a look at the stats for the team in a moment. As the Braves beat the Red Sox in the 2025 World Series, the Yankees' run of dominance has come to a close. So award-wise, postseason MVP are Rafael Devers and Dansby Swanson. Postseason MVP was Juan Soto, who signed in Atlanta. Contract-wise, Jesus. He's going to be in Atlanta for a while. MVP is Ronald Acuna and Pete Alonso in Houston. Cy Youngs to Andre Wallace, 22 years old. His first full season. Damn. Won the ERA with a 4.05 ERA, though, huh? Is that how bad the pitching was this year? Hold on. Yeah, Mike Soroka had a 2.63. How bad was the pitching in the AL? What the hell? Carlos Correa wins a batting title, as does Brian Anderson. No reliever of the year in the NL, but Kenyon Middleton wins it in the AL. Now 31 years old. Rookie of the year, Andre Wallace and Marco Luciano for the Giants. Hank Aaron awards to Mike Trout and Ronald Acuna. So a quick look. Yeah, let's take a quick look here at some of these stats on the year. So Alan Boykin rocking an 82 overall right now. A 3.48 ERA this past season, 14-13 record, which isn't all that surprising. Still has some good heat too. Not bad. Charley Hutson, it's only a 76. Those attributes aren't great. Over 5 ERA on the year, 5 wins, 23 losses. He is 15-67 in his career. Lewis Thorpe, the Australian, rough season. We'll leave it at that. Jed Jordan at 23, 1 win, 18 losses, over a 7 ERA. And John Kida, 7-16 with a 4.52 ERA. And then the bullpen again is still pretty weak. Yokoyama, though, how did he do? He was better than last year, but that wasn't that hard to do. Eric Encarncion, 26 saves, 5 blown saves. 14 blown saves at this point in his career is kind of rough, I gotta be honest. Lineup-wise, Chris Hummel, the 20-year-old, 309 average, 376 on base, and 841 OPS. Don't hate it. Don't hate it, but only, 14 home runs, actually, too. He did well. He did well. Justin Summers, now at 21 years old. This was his rookie season. 11 home runs, 56 RBIs, a 678 OPS. I mean, the on base was nice. That needs work, obviously. Ernie Christiansen, 726 OPS, 7 home runs, 49 RBI. Not too bad, nearly a 350 on base. Charley Mares, again, I'm guessing it's Mares. It might be Mares or whatever. I'm going with Mares, though. 7 home runs, 45 RBIs, and the rest of the stat line is a little bit rough, just a bit. Jeff Mendoza out and right, the Panamanian. 11 home runs, 32 RBIs, a 599 OPS. Yikes. Sal Quintero shockingly doesn't have the worst stats on the team. Ling, who of course we had playing at third. Whew. Wow, he dropped off hard. That stat line is rough. Maciel at 26. 310 on pace, 681 OPS. Not too bad. And then Ralph Moseley. Yikes. Okay. Well, you know, the ability at the plate, we still need to see some improvement there. We'll give it time. We'll give it time. To the off-season we go. Retired players. We do not lose anybody that we care about. Any Hall of Famers? No. 2025 inductees. Exclusive free agent negotiations. Now, Norfolk we don't have to worry about. But we do need to try and bring back Jed Jordan. Oh my God. I don't think he'll get a qualifying offer. And the thing is, he still has room to get better. So, yeah, he wants money. And he is going to get it. But it's a one-year deal, thankfully. John Kida as well. Still has room to get better. He's not really interested in term. So that might be a good thing with these short one-year deals. We need a manager and a pitching coach. Manager-wise, Justin Snell, Adam McDaniel, Thomas Castaneda, or Joe Wilkerson. Let's go for old Joe here. Joe Wilkerson. Let's pay you a bunch of money. And pitching coach. Who are we going to go for? Tony Rodriguez, Clifford Mora. Let's go for Tony. I like that +2 in velocity. And we'll see if that goes through for those two. Next day, Tony's on. Signing-wise, both guys signed. We just need to find out about the manager. And Wilkerson signed. Perfect. So we are looking good to go. Norfolk, I mean, it's not even worth qualifying you, obviously. You're fucking terrible. Just get off of my team. It's pretty straightforward. I'm a tad bit worried again about potentially losing someone like a C potential guy who it might not show over the B potentials. I'm pretty worried. So you know what we're going to do. Here's the issue though too. Yeah, see some of these guys, you know, are accidental 5-year deals, which kind of hurts. We will play it safe, and I'm just going to make sure. Now, obviously, Valentine, I don't have to add, but I'd rather be safe than sorry in potentially losing some of these guys. So, Tom Na, welcome to the 40-man. Second base-wise, again, we don't even have to worry about Valentine. Let's remove all these guys from the 40, just in case we need the spots. Again, they're just random roster filler. We have Mares. We don't have to worry about K. He's not ours. Quintero, good to go. In left, Edgar Diaz is fine. Hummel, Maciel, and Chen. That's perfect. In right, Mendoza. Although, I think Warden was ours, wasn't he? And he is no longer there. So I must have missed that. I think we had a guy named Sean Warden. At least he was on my list, who is not there anymore. And for relievers, I think we're good to go. I mean, obviously we have Mori, Rice, and Yokoyama. And then starter-wise, Garcia. I want to make sure we don't accidentally lose you, even though I don't think we would. Ishii and Gaucho. We don't have to worry about. Gaucho's already listed as a top prospect as well, which is a pretty good sign. So let's see here. Palmeiro isn't ours. We need to re-sign Maciel, though. Let's go 3 years. We'll go 3 mil. just to hopefully get him to sign. And then Eric Encarncion is going to need a new deal. It is going to be relatively expensive. We'll go $6 million. $18 million deal in total. Damian Magnifico, which is an amazing name for a pitcher, but unfortunately he is anything but. And we'll be dropping him. Let's go with a $10 million offer for Alan Boykin. Lewis Thorpe. Let's go with a $3 million deal for you, or not. Let's do 10.5. Charley Hutson. We're gonna go 3 years, around 3 mil. A little bit more than 3 mil. Let's go 10.5. Mitch Vargas, who I don't think is ever gonna make it at this point, but you know what? We can always try. Let's give him 800K. And Starlin Castillo is not ours. So there we go. Those are the only guys that we have to worry about, at least for the arbitration. And then tender contracts. Catcher-wise, Ralph Moseley. This is going to be a little bit expensive, or not. It's actually not that bad. I'm going to bump it up to $2 million, simply because we can afford it, and that will hopefully get him to re-sign. Ernie Christiansen. Let's go 2 years at $3 million in total. And again, Godoy is not ours. Great name, though. Justin Summers. Let's go 2 years, $2 mil. Greg Bowling. Talk about someone who's never going to make it, but I can still dream. Yeah, screw it. Let's just sign him to a deal until he retires, basically. Anaya we don't have to worry about, but Tom Na we will send a little bit of money to. Third base, Charley Mares. I have high hopes for you, Charlie. Please don't disappoint me. Shortstop, we have nobody to worry about with Quintero. And left, we'll have Edgar Diaz. The only guy to worry about there. Throw him a little bit more money just to be nice. Center field, nobody. And then right, Jeff Mendoza. Very happy with how he's developed and already, in the mid-70s. And he's 22. I say already, but he's looking good. Jerold. Good old Jerold. Can't let Jerold go anywhere. Relievers, we have Jason Mori, who was our Rule 5 pickup last year to worry about. We're just going to go with the 2. Yeah, why not? That works for me. Chauncey Rice also needs a deal, but again, I don't think he'll ever be making it. And that is it there. And then for starters, Geraldo Garcia. I'll throw you some money. Danish is not ours. None of these guys are ours, which is good news for us. So we should be good to go. Francisco Miella, Dylan Cease, Corbin Martin, and Bradley Zimmer are the top free agents. Let's see what we can do. 16 days, until free agency, too. Let's just sim a week. Trey Mancini's been dealt to the Dodgers. He's 34 years old at this point. Miella goes to the Red Sox. That's unfortunate. Dylan Cease goes to the Red Sox. So they are taking action after losing in the World Series. Adrian Hauser to the Pirates. Corbin Martin has been dealt to the Brewers. All right. Richard Lovelady to the Cards. An 87 overall. Jarlin Garcia to the White Sox. Andrew Knizner, the Knizner, on the move. Bradley Zimmer on the move. Barria, Fernando Romero to the Phillies. Let's take a look here. So, we're just waiting to hear from Charley Hutson. And for these other offers, I think we're just waiting to hear from Christiansen, right? Yeah. So let's send Christiansen a little bit more money just to get that deal out of the way. And then that way we don't have to worry about it for the rest of this time. And Charley Hutson, let's send you a little bit more money just to try and squash this issue. Alzolay to the Indians. Caratini to the Yankees. Cal Quantrill to the Indians as well. So the Indians and Red Sox really stocking up. Hudson still hasn't signed, but the good thing is we got the other offer done. So with Hudson, we'll offer you arbitration. Now a fair deal for you is at 2.7 a year. So that is what I am going to offer you. Because why not? There you go, Charlie. Make it happen. That way I don't have to worry about you. You're going to sign. It's fine. Brendan Rodgers to the Mets. And we're good to go. Sir Anthony Dominguez, 1-for-1 for Dusty Shore. That, damn, Shore, 23 years old and 83. Looking good. Robert on the move, and all of our deals are done. Sweet. So we are good to go to the Rule 5. Shed Long goes to the Yankees. Cole Stewart to the Orioles. We are good to go to the Rule 5, and hopefully we can get another good addition to the bullpen. That would be great. Man, the Giants are stocking up too. Scott Kingery to the Rockies. The hope, obviously, get that bullpen help, and I mean, as far as a position player is concerned, I'm not really looking for anything in particular. I gotta be honest. I mean, you know, we did just draft a second baseman, so I'm not against, you know, finding another infielder just to add that depth. An outfielder wouldn't hurt either. I mean, we still have the top pick here, so let's see what we can find. Please don't tell me he's available. Thank God he's out of California. So like Alexis Wilson, it would make no sense to pick up. Feliciano is unavailable. Cartaya is unavailable. Willie Huerta is out of the Dominican, also unavailable. Okay, the good thing is we are not taking a catcher this year because we don't have one available to us. At first, Dyson. Jason Dyson out of the Netherlands. I mean, another first baseman really doesn't help, and he's 28, but he's an option. And then there's, like, would it be Jaime Cabral or Jaime Cabral with him being out of Mexico? Regardless, 23 being a 69 is not bad. I'd probably rather take him than Dyson just because of how young he is. So Cabral's looking like the favorite right now. Murillo's not going to have, none of these guys are really going to have time to develop. Tim Lynch is out of Texas. Yeah, none of those guys are going to have a chance to develop. So right now the first baseman's the favorite. Kristen is out of New York, so that's not going to happen. Espinoza is not better than the first baseman. Mark Vientos is out of Florida. Yu Chang is available. He's out of Taiwan. If we really wanted to improve the infield short term, Yu Chang would be great. But would we want to take a 30-year-old over a meh first baseman? I don't know, actually, maybe. Toribio, Dominican, not available. At shortstop, New York. Gamboa is out of Venezuela. Garcia would have been amazing, but he's out of the Dominican again. And Ehrman is out of Missouri. Dominique Castro, Dominican, doesn't help. And Venezuela again. Terrence Gehrig is Dutch. 25B and a 68. So he's a little bit more of a project, obviously, than Chang, but he is 5 years younger. Okay, and then left, J.J. Anderson. He's out of Oregon. Americano. Oliveros and Phillips. If I'm going to take an outfielder, it's going to be someone who's pretty damn good. Because, well, I mean, Edgar Diaz isn't that good, but Hummel, Maciel, Chen, and who we have in right's also looking all right. Canario isn't going to help. Austin Beck's not going to help. Bubba Thompson, Troy Alvarez. It's just a question of, do I take a 30-year-old? You know, I think that's what we're looking at for position players. Sandro Fabian, Dominican. Danny Diaz, Indiana. Rocco Aiken, nope. Paul Atkins is a no. So for position players, I think we are looking at Terrence Gehrig or Yu Chang. Because first base-wise, I mean, we do have Summers. So 23B and a 69. Or 25B and a 6. Then again, that first baseman. What's his secondary positions? He's not a great fielder. He can play the outfield, though. Good at stealing bases, apparently. Rally monkey as well. It might be Cabral. Let's see what we have for pitchers. Arroyo? No, he's out of the Dominican. Doyle's not going to be available. Morales is out of Kentucky. What about Parra? Panama. Okay, so Parra would be available. Obviously, it's not a great option, but at least we know there's a potential reliever that we could pick up. Villarreal would be amazing. Damn it. He would have been great. Do we have anybody who's not in their early to mid 30s? Jorge Rivera, Venezuela. Damn it. Damn it. Anybody else here? Raymond Richter? No, California. I figured as much. Obviously, there's 1,000 relievers. It's just whether or not any of them are worth taking. Brian Garcia, Dominican. Rich Richards, Georgia. Rob Jones, I doubt it. Chris Ellis, Edward Cabrera, Dominican. Damn. It's not looking good for us here. Yeah, and the further down we scroll, it's looking worse. Again, I am not against taking first baseman. Not against taking that first baseman and then pitching-wise, taking a starter and just moving them over to the bullpen. I don't hate it. And it's looking like that's going to be our best option anyway. How good is Schroeder? He's good, but out of Washington. It's Venezuelan. Clark Schmidt. Nope. Dan Beebe. Venezuela with a name like that. It's mind-blowing. Ray Diaz is Venezuelan. Bolton. No. Braxton Garrett's American. Yeah. Gomez? Nope. Nope. Asensio. No. Ken Linder is Canadian. Hey, holy shit, there we go. Ken Linder, the 24-year-old Canadian. 24 being a 78. I don't think anybody's beating that. There's no way. I'm looking for an A potential here. Nah, Ken Linder wins. And it might just be me being desperate to select somebody, but I genuinely think he's going to be for the best. So that is a pretty damn big addition. We pick up the 24-year-old Canadian, Ken Linder, as another starting pitcher. And we're starting to get a bit of depth. Now, Yu Chang has been selected, which doesn't surprise me, but we made the right choice. So that leaves us with either the first baseman or that shortstop and Terrence Gehrig. The benefit to Gehrig is that he probably will be better to move over to other infield positions like second base or shorts, to keep him there. But then again, we also have Scottie Valentine, and he can play short. I'm going to go for just who the best option is. And based off of age, potential, and overall, we are going to take the 23-year-old Mexican. I'm going to go with Jaime Cabral with this selection. I might just call him Jamie. I'm pretty sure, though, there's another baseball players where it's like, oh, it's not Jamie, it's Jaime. So, regardless, Cabral is the pick, and I am very happy with how this draft has gone for us. That went very well. Very, very well indeed. So, I'll tell you what, I will see you guys as we get ready for the draft. I'll obviously have to set some things up with the team. I'll give you a look at what the team was for the first half of the season before we do the draft. So I'll talk to you in a moment. All right, so the draft is upon us. The good thing here, though, is that there are a lot more players available to us here. Everyone that you're seeing scouted, aside from the ones who are auto-scouted by the AI at the beginning, are players that are available to us. So I think there's a better chance of us ending up with more than 3 players. What I'm going to do is give you a quick look at the team, how it's set up, and obviously you'll be able to take a quick look at how certain players are performing. In Charley Hutson's case, not well, but at least this way you can see the team. We don't have as many wins as I thought we would up to this point, but for me, it's still at the point where the overalls are key. Obviously, the bullpen's still a bit weak. We have Justin Dillon and Lane Ratliff there, although Dillon's been phenomenal because this game is a sports sim. But with Mori, Yokoyama, and Eric Encarncion, who's been terrible this season, it's still looking okay. And then lineup-wise, the good thing is it's only Chen and Cabral who are on the bench, but that is pretty much the go-to lineup for us this year with the addition of Jerold Castro, just because we don't currently have a shortstop. I sent other people down to AAA. Edgar Diaz is there. Scottie Valentine is there. Sal Quintero, he's even on the bench, but he's played a little bit. They are there as well. So, 16-41 record, not ideal. A lot of underperforming players, but again, we're not quite there in terms of this team turning the corner. We're getting closer, and this draft should be able to help. The 2026 entry draft, we again have a number 1 overall pick. Let's hope we can put it to good use. Now, we start off with Zambrano, who's one of those auto-scouted players, so he's not available. There is Cordova, who is not a number 1 overall pick. Tommy Jung, though, he's okay. A second or third round pick, he'd be great. Obviously, we don't need a catcher, but it's still worth looking in terms of trying to take the best player available. Louis Root out of Jamaica. I mean, he's 22. He's 4+ years away. I don't think he's the number 1 pick. Call it a hunch. Greg Duke out of Panama, not a number 1 pick. Esquivel out of Mexico, not a number 1 pick. And Derek Owens, not a number 1 pick. Second base-wise, Michael Campos is not available. High potential, but a really low overall for him is going to be the key, and he's 22, so that's not great. Kenny Schroeder out of Jamaica, great fielding first option, but obviously not someone that we want to take right now. Sean Hamilton out of Canada. So unfortunately, a lot of these guys just aren't good. Like, you're going to have to hope the potentials are higher because the overalls aren't going to be great. Obviously, Romano's not available. Now, Frankie Jung out of South Korea. This is actually tough. So, I mean, we're going to have players available to us. The quality of said players is absolutely in question. And Howard Ishii is okay, but not amazing. Carlos Castro is Dominican, so that doesn't help. And then what about Chad Browne? Jamaican. Ooh. Okay, yeah, as it stands, Chad Browne's the pick. Damn, very well-rounded, 20 years old, ready in 2 years. Chad Browne. I mean, he's going to have a high potential, too. He's got the blue chip. So that is the key. That is the key. Chad Browne is the pick, barring someone like Leo Baez, who's not even available to us. Ryan Lopez. Hello. Defense first Canadian outfielder. Specialist. Decent option in a later round. Same for the Dutch. Chauncey Alford, the Dutchman. Decent. Russell Nielsen, not that great. Jason Cho, not that great. Okay, so if we're taking a fielder, it's going to be the shortstop, for sure. Now it's just a question of who's available in the bullpen, and unfortunately, Gregorio Vaccaro is not available. Andrew Montes is. If I could get him in the second round, that would be phenomenal. I think I have to take that shortstop in Chad Browne. I mean, that closer's going to be really good. I think we have to take him. I think we have to. It's rough because Montes isn't bad. Herschel Baum out of Maine, but he's obviously not available. So Bo Garcia, not a bad option, but not the same level of, say, who we picked last year. Yeah, no, that's a fairly straightforward option here. It is going to be Chad Browne out of Jamaica, who is the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft for us. And the question is just how high is that potential going to be? And then hopefully we still have a decent option available to us here. How many players are left? Yeah, so that's looking a little bit better. There is a question over quality, though, but these are all the players available to us. So Jason Cho, there's got to be somebody better. Tommy Young is still there. I like pretty much everything there. I mean, the arm accuracy is in question, but that's not bad. Ricky Erasmus. It's not that great. Frankie Chung. Right now, it's Young that's winning it. Mario Zambrano has a bit of power. That's about it. And then, again, Alford's there. He's 21 and 4+ years away, though. Ishii's got that bit of power. Derek Owens wasn't that good. Teddy Ellis isn't that good either. What about Kojima? That's not good at all. He has no velocity whatsoever. Alan Hashimoto is okay, but probably not going to be great. So yeah, we didn't really luck out here. A lot of these guys just aren't that great, although Andrew Montes is still there, and he's going to be the pick. Morales isn't bad, but we need that relief help so badly. It's going to be Montes. Yep, Montes is the guy. I wouldn't mind taking one of those outfielders, but we need that relief help. So Andrew Montes, he's going to be ready next year as well. So that is a decent starting overall, I'm assuming. So he joins the likes of Encarncion, Short, Yokoyama, and Mori. The bullpen is starting to come together. Andrew Montes, welcome aboard. And again, I'd like to at least get through 4 rounds in this draft, but no real way to tell, especially with all the competitive balance and Alford's off the board. Who do we have? Ooh, that's it, huh? So Jung's still available. He's my favorite of the bunch. We're going to be taking Tommy Jung. Let's do it. So we have another catcher, which again raises the question of, am I allowed to move people over to fully optimize it? But we at least get through 3 rounds. I think we've picked up 3 decent players. And then it's down to Howard Ishii, the 19-year-old with a bit of power, or Zambrano, the 18-year-old with a bit of power. Let's take a look. It's got to be Ishii, for sure. So we're going to take the 19-year-old third baseman, and unless Zambrano is on the board in the next round, that'll do it for us in this draft. Is Zambrano going to go? He is. He went just before we got back on the board. So that'll do it for us. We get through 4 picks in this draft. I'm still not going to go with the best guessed pick from there. I just don't want to go for it again. I don't mind the idea of the best guess, but I don't want to do it. So let's see how we did. Again, the Rule 5, great for us in my opinion. This season, the results, thus far, but everything can be back on the right track with a strong draft, and it's decent, at least for the top 2. Chad Browne, it's going to be a great shortstop. 67 overall, 20 years old, 94 A potential for the Jamaican, Chad Browne. So definitely a part of this team moving forward. Happy to have him here. And then Andrew Montes, again, very good. 72 overall at 21 years old, 84 B potential. A strong addition to that bullpen for sure. Now, Tommy Young's interesting because he has a decent starting overall, but the issue is he has a D potential. We're going to sign him. I'm not expecting much. If he goes up to C potential, he's going to be a very useful player for us. And not quite the same for Nishii or for Ishii. We are going to sign him. The key thing here, we got a very good infield option and a very good relief option as well, and Andrew Montes. So Browne and Montes leading the way. And again, the full team list is down in the description, but I can't help but still be optimistic about where this team is and where they're going. You think about the additions to the bullpen. Of course, Jerold's not even there. Chauncey Rice is never going to make it. But a lot of these guys should be able to make this team eventually. And from there, it's just a matter of what happens once we don't have the number 1 pick every year. And can we still get decent enough players to add to the system? I hope that's the case with as limited of a player pool as we have to pick from. So that'll do it for this one. Again, with that information as far as overalls going up, which really, it's not all that relevant because the attributes don't change, but we'll continue to tinker with it a bit, I would say, in terms of moving players around. I mean, hell, I'd be fully on board with moving Michael Chen to shortstop just so that he could actually play, but that might be a bridge too far. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one, I hope. And if you could, drop a like on the video, man. Help me out with YouTube's garbage algorithms. I keep getting comments. I've gotten comments for a lot of the years that I've been doing this already, because it has already been quite a while since I've been doing this, but people are always like, how don't you have more subs? Because number one, I don't really advertise my channel like a lot of people. I mean, I'm too big to advertise my channel. Like, here, I'm on Reddit, and there's a post about my video. Too big for that without it just looking desperate. Hit the like button. Simple thing. YouTube algorithms are a tough thing to conquer. Hit more likes, I might show up in more people's recommended feeds, good things happen, and I can I can buy more hockey jerseys. I'm on Instagram. Check out the Rumble jersey that we finally got in the mail. That's right, hockey references in the baseball video. If you don't know who Rumble is, Draft Glory, NHL 17, Washington Capitals. Good night. Goodbye. I'll see you later.